Hello, my beautiful human. I hope that you're enjoying LunaFête so far, even though it really hasn't been that long that you've been here. But I hope you're enjoying, LunaFête up until this point, which has probably been a couple of minutes. I'm past Marlo. I'm pretty sure like present Marlo told you hello and welcomed you, told you about some dates that are important and, cut away to past Marlo. We're going to go ahead and get into this full moon tea, hunty. Okay, that was terrible. Let's try that again. In all seriousness, because we have so much to cover tonight, let's go ahead and jump into the 3 important themes of the Taurus full moon partial lunar eclipse blood moon. I think I said all of that right. So first things up, let's talk about the theme of this Taurus full moon. The theme of this Taurus full moon is the masked self. And of course, with this being a full moon, we're talking all about this masked self being revealed. The masked self is our inner naked baby, or who we were before any of our life traumas. The masked self is often born through childhood trauma if we originate from a family of origin where we were the scapegoat child or the dynamics in our home weren't conducive to self-expression. A masked self kind of comes standard with the humanity package, you know what I mean? Pretty much who we were born to be in some form, shape, or, fashion. We somehow learned in our journey that who we were or who we really are isn't on par with the way our families or friend groups or romantic relationships were. So we learned to cope by covering this self, hence masking it. Yet for those who did experience some form of trauma in their childhood, and not necessarily trauma in the sense of abuse, for some it could be losing a parent or having a parent that worked a lot or having a house fire. Regardless of whatever specific experience caused us to mask our authentic self, usually sometimes around adolescence is when we really set into whatever our coping mechanism is going to be to continue to suppress that authentic form of ourself. For some people, it's a tendency to use humor to mask the self, either by being the class clown or making themselves the butt of jokes. We can also resort to passive aggression to have a sense of power or control, or choosing to not openly speak our truth. So despite what happens with all of the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs astrological energies that we have going on, the most important thing to walk away with tonight is knowing that what will be revealed to you tonight for the next 3 days, the next week, month, 3 months, and 6 months is going to be the many ways as to how you have masked your authentic self. And the key is for us to take a deep dive, which is why we're doing the Venus retrograde deep dive here on the network. But the whole premise of this is for you to take a deep dive to unearth this authentic version of yourself. And why this is so extremely important is, as many of you have probably heard me say more times than you'd like to recount at this present moment in our soul sessions, is that our authentic self, or that masked self, our inner child, our shadow, whatever term you prefer to use, it possesses the key that unlocks the door to our future. So if you truly want to move forward in your life from this night forward and going into 2022, you, my friend, want to go unmask yourself. And by unmask yourself, I mean taking a deep dive within the inner recesses of your conscious and subconscious to get to the root of why it is that you masked them in the first place. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to help you do all that. You know what I'm saying? The second thing as to why the Taurus full moon partial lunar eclipse slash blood moon, I just wanted to say it again, is so important. This moon gives us a sneak peek into 2022. How you handle the testing energy of this cycle and what you choose to channel these energies into is how you're likely to handle energies in 2022. 2022 is a 6 year, and a year that also shows us the full manifestation of what our choices have birthed or have manifested into our life. In addition to this, next year, the North Node moves into Taurus and the South Node moves into Scorpio. So for each of you individually, it's important to pay special attention to where Taurus falls in your chart and in what house that planet falls in your chart, because that's going to let you know what area of your life will be highlighted for you to shine in 2022. A major theme of 2022 will be centralized around things looking really dope on the surface, yet needing to take a deeper dive to see, the substance or the literal truth of the matter. That's why the Antichrist message came out in Scorpio's reading in October. If you guys remember that, I know I do. I can't unsee it. Like,
the Hierophant in the reverse will never be the same.
Taurus is, of course, the symbol of the golden calf, aka false idol, and worshiping its tangible Venetian energy seems like a dope ass idea. I mean, until you realize an abyss of darkness lies beneath that surface. This is the proverbial okie doke that the entire collective has been falling for since 2002, or for the rest of you who don't remember 2002. 2013. In October, Saturn allowed us to see the consequences of the choices we made in opposition to ourselves, and Jupiter restored a hope in ourselves, some for humanity, and it put a band-aid on our owies. In the first week of November, the Scorpio new moon offered us all a sense of clarity. Clarity we desperately needed, as it offers us a glimpse into how our choices were feeding our own demise. Now we all see the truth of the matter. The task now is to turn the wheel in our favor, and that's where the energy of this moon comes in. The Taurus full moon eclipse has a twofold purpose. First, it will reveal what's important to you, aka your values. And two, it will remove something or someone you didn't know was acting as a block to you living out that value, even if that someone is you. I mean, you won't be removed, but like the subconscious dark distractions will be revealed, and you'll be responsible for rectifying it, but you're not just gonna dematerialize or anything, just to reassure you. Hope you didn't notice the camera shake there. We're just going to pretend like that didn't happen. Moving right along. Now, because of the business that I am in, it's more than likely that the big reveal will be something that we are doing that is holding us back. And that's why this LunaFête is all about offering you guys the tools to save yourself, my friend. Throw yourself a life vest. Throw yourself a lifeboat. I don't think you should throw a lifeboat. That probably would be dangerous. You get the analogy, right? Another reason this moon is extremely important is because it's preparation for Venus retrograde. And what that means for us on the network is something very special, because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is we're going to be doing a deep dive of wonderful, good old Venetian inspired shadow work here on the network, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are members, we'll send out all the stuff, but we're going to use this time to really take the information that we get from this full moon, marry it with that good old Mama Venus energy, and we're going to learn a lot throughout this deep dive, which is going to last until March of 2022. So the most important thing about this moon is that it's giving you the opportunity once and for all to choose yourself over everyone else. And in case you're wondering how one would choose oneself, it looks kind of like this. First, you'd want to identify the domains of your life and what isn't and what is working in your life. And how you choose yourself really is by identifying those values and electing to live in alignment with them. And again, I'm gonna show you how to do that, because I love your face and all, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so you guys know how much I, really love analogies. I actually wrote one and I decided not to use it, but I just want to say it because, I'm a Taurus and it's kind of dirty, but I think it's hilarious. So I'm going to say it. So I'm just going to disclaimer it with, forgive me for using this analogy. However, the Taurus full moon eclipse is kind of like foreplay to the copulation that will be Venus retrograde and the child of abundance scheduled to be born on the 21st of March, 2022. I'm just going to leave it there because I thought it was dope when I wrote it, but don't judge me. So you guys literally have no idea what just happened, because I mean, of course I edited it out, but my leg just went to sleep, and God, if you guys saw what just transpired. Oh God, I can't feel my leg. Oh God. Oh, I might include it in some bloopers or something. I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Jesus. Moving right along. So speaking of the copulation of Venus retrograde, our third most important thing to know about this Taurus full moon eclipse is Venus retrograde. Venus's pre-shadow phase begins November 17th, 2021, and it goes fully retrograde in Capricorn December 19th, 2021 until January 29th, 2022. And we're still not done with our good girl Venus, you know what I'm saying? Because the post retro shade phase lasts until March 1st, 2022. Every 18 months, Venus goes retrograde and offers us a time to reevaluate our definition of love, our relationships, past and present, our values, what we are knowingly or unknowingly manifesting into our lives, and our ideals of beauty to help us to evolve into a greater, more aware version of ourselves for the new year. This time frame will also be marked by a great deal of Six of Cups kind of nostalgia. Yet, I stress, this energy should be used for pointed and intentional self-reflection and not for ruminating over what could have been. Insert her and Bryson Tiller. We could have been there. Instead, focus on what could be and adopt the quote, "If it is to be, it is up to me," to re-empower yourself to create the life you desire in 2022. In reference to relationships, now is the time to gain clarity on who we are and what we want, and take time out to gain personal clarity through a reality check and self-honesty, and to begin to understand our needs in relationship and how we can begin to relate to first ourselves and then others on a more authentic level. I just realized I said "and" like buku times. Again, don't judge your friend Marlo. In reference to, drum roll please, exes, this Venus retrograde will act much like a Mercury retrograde, as many of us indeed will be contacted by an ex. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Do not say that I don't love you. Do not say I did not give you a heads up, child, because it's probably going to happen. For all of us, literally, not joking. Mark my words. I'm just saying. If your ex does return during this period, there is one of two reasons why. One, it's the one that got away, meaning you were the reason things didn't work out. Dumbass bitch, I ain't fucking with you. Or two, you're the one that got away, but your ex hasn't really changed much, or has changed astronomically in an extremely short period of time, and suddenly realizes that you're the one now. See, now, you know, in this case, this one right here, the key is to make a choice you may not have ever made in the past. The real question is, are they the one? Are they a clear reflection of who you are and where you're desiring to go? Do they share your core values? If not, you're being offered the chance to choose yourself over this person as a manifestation declaration of the new path that you're choosing to embark on, my friend. Of course, you're going to make the right choice. You better make the right choice. Okay, I'm not going to say that you better, but I know you will. No worries here. In reference to values, now is the ideal time to identify your 3 core values. Core values can be defined as an enduring belief upon which a person acts. Values have a cognitive component in that they involve thoughts about preferable ways to be, to live, or to act. Values also have an emotional component because we feel positively or negatively about them. They resonate with us or they don't. And values have a behavioral component in that values often, but not always, drive our behavior. In short, our core values influence how we live our lives. When a person fails to live in accordance with their values, they often feel unsatisfied. For example, someone who values their family very highly yet spends very little time with them is likely to feel discontent. Taking the time to explore your values can help illuminate facets of your life that are over or under attended to. When we know our core values, making decisions becomes easier. We are also less likely to be swayed by other people's opinions. I've included a quick quiz to help you guys identify your core values. You can find it in the PDF. I was gonna say the PDF, but it's definitely a funeral program. I mean, come on. I know you've seen it. Like, I couldn't even keep a straight face and say PDF. Like, I made a freaking funeral program, people. I mean, are we really surprised? We know these are the things that I do. PDF. It's a freaking funeral program. Like, anyway, I've also included a reality check. It's a list of questions that I strongly suggest that you guys take the time to answer within the next 3 days to the next week, because I feel the answers to these questions and continuing to revisit them throughout the course of the next month, 3 months to 6 months, or for those of you who are doing the Venus retrograde deep dive, to keep these kind of as marker points of how it is that you're starting out the program and revisiting them in March when we finish the program. I think it'll be very helpful in your self-reflection work, as well as helping you guys start to practice self-honesty. So definitely check that out in the funeral program PDF. I literally can't say that with a straight face. And lastly, in reference to beauty, now is a great time to consider a makeover. Not that any of you need one, my beautiful humans, but in the event that you did want one, you can spend Venus retrograde reevaluating your hairstyle, your hair color, looking through your wardrobe, getting rid of stuff you can't fit or things that just aren't your stilo anymore, focusing on fitness, your health, changing up your makeup, any of those things. However, what I would suggest is using this period from now until March to be a planning period, kind of experimenting with some things, getting some color swatches and things of the sort, creating some sort of a plan. And I wouldn't necessarily act on those things just yet, because during Venus retrograde, things kind of like, exes can seem like really great ideas. And once homegirl goes direct and, you wipe your eyes and the sun comes out in spring, you're suddenly like, what the hell? So also watch it on the purchases that you guys are making during this time too. Don't buy any high ticket items or a weird shaped, strange color couch or anything. Not that I've ever done that. Moving right along. That's it, guys. I hope that this information has been helpful. I hope you guys learned a lot and you feel prepared with all of these wonderful astrological, energetic, metaphysical logistics to tackle the full moon with full confidence, my friend. Now stay tuned because we have more in store for you. We're going to have Seren the Healer coming up, as well as the Body Architect, our wonderful yoga therapist, Dee, to share some additional information with you guys. And I also have some more stuff to share with you guys. And then we're going to have our big hoo-ha powwow event. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I shouldn't say event. I mean, I guess like, what would you call that? Like the climactic event? Like, yeah, that's coming up. So stay tuned. I'm going to let you guys go get a pee break. Taurus, as y'all already know what's up. I mean, if you watch the marathon, then you get the joke. I mean, I'd reenact it and all, but that would be weird. And Bull Gang, to the pantry. Awkward. Be sure to refer to your funeral program PDF for all of the other free goodies that I have for you guys. Again, I want to welcome all of you guys who are not network members. I'm so glad that you came and we're most certainly happy to have you. Stay tuned because we have more resources coming up for you guys to make your full moon the best. Full moon, dagnabbit, son of a gun, I said. I pulled my hair there. It hurt a little. Love your face. My leg. Oh, my Lord. You or someone you know has been considering therapy. Get started today with BetterHelp.